Hidden within a holiday cheer lies a trove of secrets, truths about Christmas that few dare to uncover. Some are well known, others deliberately concealed. Until now, I unveil them to you, reclassified as the Christmas Files. In 1994, an innocent holiday classic hid a secret, one that led unsuspecting children to a place they were never meant to go. A phone number, a mistake, a hotline not for holiday wishes, but for something less wholesome. Case number 1. The Santa Claus Dirty Phone Number. In the holiday classic, The Santa Claus, Scott Calvin, a divorced dad, shares custody of his son Charlie with his ex-wife Laura. On Christmas Eve, Charlie is set to spend the night with Scott, an evening that turns unexpectedly magical when Scott becomes the next Santa. Before leaving Charlie at Scott's townhouse, Laura hands Scott a note with her mother-in-law's phone number, just in case he needs to reach her. What you might not remember is that the joke Scott makes in that scene.
Here's Neil's mom's number in case.
1-800-SPANK-ME. I know that number.
And a Merry Christmas to you, too. You be a good boy. Okay?
In the original theatrical release, after receiving the note, Scott glances at the number and quips, 1-800-SPANK-ME. I know that number. It's a slightly risque, but seemingly harmless joke, except for one problem. 1-800-SPANK-ME was a real active sex hotline. According to an article in the AP report from Ohio, a grandmother took her grandchildren to see the film. They called the number out of curiosity and was shocked to find it connected to an adult chat line. If you're thinking, wait, that scene isn't in the movie, you're partially right. Disney quickly removed the line after its theatrical release. However, a small run of first edition VHS and Laserdisc copies still contained the original scene before it was permanently cut. Interestingly, the joke doesn't appear in any of the scripts that I found, which suggests that Tim Allen may have improvised the line. How he knew that number? Well, that remains a mystery.
Gary, nice.
Hanukkah, very nice.
In your dreams, Playboy.
Scattered throughout every Back to the Future film are subtle yet undeniable connections to Christmas. Blink and you might miss them. Was it a mere coincidence, or was there something deeper at play in the space-time continuum? Case number 2. Back to the Future Trilogy Christmas Connections. Scattered throughout every Back to the Future film are subtle yet undeniable connections to Christmas. Blink and you might miss them. Was it a mere coincidence, or was there something deeper at play in the space-time continuum?
Erased from existence.
Let's start with the original. Picture this. A quiet night at Twin Pines Mall. Marty McFly meets Doc Brown, unaware that he's about to become the world's first human accidental time traveler. With the invention of the flux capacitor, Doc builds into a time machine out of a DeLorean. As Einstein successfully jumps 1 minute into the future, Marty begins to document the machine's strange capabilities. The glowing time circuits display 3 dates: destination, present, and departure. Any of which Marty could accidentally land on. Imagine if instead of 1955, he traveled back to the first Christmas, witnessing the birth of Christ.
Birth of Christ?
In Back to the Future Part 2, Marty and Doc jump ahead 30 years to 2015, attempting to stop Marty Jr. from a life-altering mistake. While Jennifer lies unconscious, the police drop her off at her future home in Hilldale. There, we meet an older Marty McFly with a gravelly voice,
Great, Mom. We're like a couple of teenagers, you know?
a character eerily similar to another Michael J. Fox role 6 years earlier in the Family Ties Christmas episode, A Keaton Christmas Carol. In that episode, Fox portrayed an older Alex P. Keaton in a holiday vision of his future.
Mom. Dad. What you been up to? Well, I'm glad you enjoyed my company. I don't feel comfortable here. I'm ashamed of all of you. Merry Christmas.
The resemblance is uncanny. The voice, the look, the mannerisms. Was this merely a rehearsal for Marty's future self? Or something more enigmatic? And then there's Back to the Future Part 3. Robert Zemeckis, the mastermind behind the trilogy, also directed The Polar Express, a film deeply embedded in Christmas lore. Both movies prominently feature a train, but the parallels don't stop there. When the hero boy pulls the emergency brake in The Polar Express, the sequence uncannily mirrors Clara pulling the brake in Part 3. And when the hero boy races to the front of the train and pulls the whistle, he proclaims, "I've wanted to do this my whole life."
The whistle.
Wanna try it?
I've wanted to do that my whole life.
Echoing Doc Brown's own gleeful whistle pull.
I wanted to do that all my life. I wanted to do that all my life.
But the strangest connection lies in the mechanics of the Polar Express itself. As the engineers scramble to stop the train, a critical pin falls loose, bouncing dangerously around the engine. You may notice something astonishing in the background, a faint glimpse of technology suspiciously resembling the flux capacitor. Is the Polar Express more than a magical train? Could it be a time machine? The connections are undeniable, the coincidences too perfect to ignore. Is it holiday magic or something stranger? That's for you to decide. In A Garfield Christmas, the touching scene of Grandma in her rocking chair exists, but not always the way you remember it. Two versions, slightly different. A shift in the festive fabric of time. Case number 3. Grandma's Garfield Christmas. In A Garfield Christmas, the touching scene of Grandma in her rocking chair exists, but not always the way you remember it. Two versions, slightly different. A shift in the festive fabric of time. In A Garfield Christmas, the iconic scene of Grandma in her rocking chair remains etched in the hearts of fans. But what if I told you there were two versions of this touching moment? Slight differences, subtle changes. A ripple in the Yuletide time. I love the Garfield Christmas special so much that I ranked it number 7 on my top 25 Christmas specials of all time. It's a treasure of warmth and humor, but one scene stands out, a moment that feels almost too human for a cartoon about a lazy orange cat. After the family enjoys dinner and decorates the tree, John's mom plays the piano, leading the family in singing Christmas carols. Grandma sits quietly in her rocking chair, gazing out the window, joined by Garfield, who climbs onto her lap. She speaks softly to him about her late husband, a strong, proud man who adored Christmas and never let it show. You probably remember this version. Grandma's sitting in the dimly lit room, her face illuminated. She stares at a photograph of her husband as memories wash over her. But what if I told you that's not how it always was? An original version of this scene, airing in 1987, was strikingly different. Brightly lit, no photograph, just her words and her rocking chair. The dialogue delivered with heartbreaking sincerity of Pat Carroll.
Carols and bells ringing to the rafters, lights on the tree, candles all aglow, and all who pass by say hello.
Why, hello, Garfield. How did you know I needed a kitty in my lap?
Wild guess.
Since Grandpa passed on, I've whiled away many a lonely hour rocking and stroking my cats.
I envy those cats.
Grandpa was a proud man, a strong man. He was a good provider. We never had much money, but we always had plenty of food on the table. And he always made something special for me and each of the children at Christmas. Men like him didn't feel like they could show much affection outwardly to the children, but on Christmas, it was okay. He always pretended not to be excited on Christmas morning, but his eyes gave him away. I think it was his favorite day of the year. Sometimes I wake up in the night and I can still feel his strong arms around me. This is the night I miss him the most.
Keep Christmas here in your heart.
So what happened? Why the change? The story goes that the creators weren't satisfied with how the original scene turned out. In 1991, for the home video release, they quietly reanimated it, giving the moment a more somber, intimate tone. This newer version, the one most people remember, became the standard of all future broadcasts and releases. The original, brighter version all but disappeared, existing now only in the memories of those who watched it or can find it on YouTube. These are just 3 Christmas mysteries, but they're only the beginning. The holiday season is full of unexplained wonders and hidden secrets. We'll uncover even more in future episodes of The Christmas Files. Have a mystery to submit? Leave a comment below with your festive findings. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm the Christmas aficionado, or am I? Until next time, remember, stay curious, stay merry, and most importantly, stay off the naughty list.